Hola controles, bienvenidos a su podcast El After. El día de hoy tenemos un invitado muy especial, Lefteris Illuminati. My friend, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good to see you today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Nice, nice. Welcome to London, basically.
Oh, thank you very much. It's amazing, the production. I feel very special that I can see all this event and the hard work that you're doing here in London.
Yeah, no, I think it was with Illuminaughty. It's always about the production. It's always been putting on massive shows. And this, I'll be honest, this is one of our smaller shows because we used to do in big arenas, and it's always been about creating a massive production.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Yesterday that I was with Dr. Lou, she started showing me some videos for your parties and everything, and how you made everything. And she started a little bit telling me about how you make all the decoration and that you produce it itself. And I was amazed because I also have been in the scene, I don't know, for 15 years maybe. And I've been in a lot of festivals in Mexico and Brazil, but I see the quality of the decoration here, and I really admire your work. And well, here basically this is to know your story, like how you started into this world, what was your first approach into music, where you're from, a little bit of context so people can understand, because if they go into social media, Illuminati, oh, big festivals and just killing it, but there's a story, there's a background, how you get into here. So please.
So I'll jump back a long time ago. So initially I was in uni at the time. I was studying documentaries, films, and I liked psytrance and I liked festivals, and my aim was to start doing political documentaries. That was my initial goal when I went to university. And then I was at a festival listening to GMS, and at that moment on the dance floor, it was a Samothraki dance festival back in 2001, 2002, and I was on the dance floor listening to GMS, and I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. And because I was also doing documentaries, I thought this is a great opportunity to do a party and mix politics as well and documentaries in. So when we first actually started Illuminaughty, we had the documentaries at the beginning. So the event started and there was political documentaries playing. Yeah, it lasted 2 parties and then it finished because people were like, put the music on, put the music on. So it didn't go down that well. But at that point, after doing the first 2 events, we realized that this was amazing. And psytrance wasn't music at the time that brought people together. All music brings people together, really. But it just felt that community vibe. And because when we started Illuminaughty, although I loved the festival vibe and the party vibe on psytrance, and it was that dance culture that pulled me in, I had the film side, the documentary side, the art side. So when Illuminaughty started, it was more of a platform to bring artists together. We had the photography exhibition, we had the documentaries, we had different artists, painters. There was a lot of stuff happening in our event. It wasn't just about the music. And then as Illuminaughty developed, it soon became bigger, especially in a city like Manchester, where we started. Manchester was only a small city with no psytrance community. And people started coming to the event and saying, oh, we didn't realize this was the music. But they all came for that culture of, wow, this is like a club event, but it's like a festival. There's so much stuff going on inside. And I think that's what attracted people. And then the event grew from the first event, 250 people, to 500 to 1,000, and it just expanded very quickly. And it became quite a big indoor festival, to the point that in Manchester we're getting like 4,000 people, and we made it into a multi-genre event. And then we moved to London, and we've kept it in London just in the psytrance genre.
Wow, and do you remember that first event in Manchester?
I do, very clearly.
Who was the lineup?
It was Rinkadink and Dark Soho, and yes, I remember we were setting up all day, and it was the first events that we did. So setting up those events when you don't really know, I remember it was lethal. And I remember I had to leave just before the door opened to go and change, and then I got back, and I was just in time to see Rinkadink and Dark Soho, and the vibe was just, it was amazing. It felt like, everything that I felt on the dance floor when I was watching GMS play, it was like, wow, this is really meant to be, because this is really what I want to do. And after that, we had an after party, because at the time, the clubs in Manchester would not allow us to go longer than 3 o'clock. So we did an after party, and Rizzo from Dark Soho, he played for like, I don't know, 6 hours, he went on the decks and he was playing all night. And it was an amazing event.
Wow, well, yeah, because you never forget the first part.
Yeah, no.
Event. And also the experience to make a party, because you already had experience, maybe just in the documentary, but making an event is completely other, since getting to the venue, the permissions, bookings, and everything.
Absolutely. And it was also that's where all the decor side started. I remember because all my friends came together, everybody was making stuff. Like I remember in my bedroom, like there were sewing machines, and if you look at the decor from then, of course, it's very amateur to what we're doing now. But that also brought people together. That every event we were coming up with a new story, a new theme, and it was all about Illuminaughty, and that's why now it's called a Theatre of Dreams, because we were bringing a story together, having to create the decor, having to make the costumes for the performers, creating a storyline for people for the performers to play out. So we wanted people to feel when they come to the event that they've walked into a different world, into a different experience. And obviously when you look back at the first parties, it was at a lot more of an amateur level, but that developed. And then soon from that is when we saw that, you know what, we like to do this all the time. And that's how actually we formed another company called Visual Architects. And Visual Architects is the company that works next to Illuminaughty. It came out of Illuminaughty, but Visual Architects is now what we have a factory, and we produce all the decor, we produce everything that you see in our events, but also in other events.
No, then that's amazing, because you already know one part of the business, and you're starting the business, and you know if your main idea or concept is decoration and the experience, you create a new company to make it very professional and continue. So yeah, that's amazing. And also some other festivals can hire your services because they already know the good work that you do, and you can continue this business because you don't make events every day.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
every week.
But that was the thing, that we were doing like 3 events a year, so we couldn't do that all the time. And because every event had to have a different theme, a different vibe, all the decor that we made, we weren't going to utilize again, because the next event had a different decor. So all of a sudden we had all this. So it's like, let's work with other events as well. We love this scene. This is what we want to do. We want to be in events. So let's utilize that. And then we started utilizing Illuminaughty's decor for other events.
Yeah, totally. I think it's a very good idea. So that was your first event. You started in Manchester, and since they do not let you stay so long on that rave, like 6 o'clock, you move into London. And for you, how was that movement? Because they're a different way. Manchester is a different city. London, maybe being the capital, can be a little bit more complex. Did you have like some challenges moving to London?
No, to be honest, London made life a lot easier, you know, because in Manchester we grew and we were very heavy. It was back before Facebook. We started in 2006. Facebook was 2008. So it was heavy on flyering, you know, and those first, we didn't move to London till 2015, 2016.
Okay.
And when we were in Manchester, the event grew, but it grew with not the Psytrance audience, let's say, was 200 people, but we were getting like 1,500, 2,000, then 4,000. But these people were coming for the experience. But to promote, it was a lot more difficult to get the people in, you know. And after a bit, we wanted somewhere that people, they loved and they enjoyed the music as well. That would make it easier because you have like one kind of type of clientele. And we moved to London, and it was straight away, it was easier to run an event because you had that audience and you didn't need to go extreme on the promotion to bring people in just for the experience.
Yeah, totally. What do you say are the main challenges, before and right now, as an event organizer for the promoting? Because Psytrance or electronic music used to be very underground, but now it had changed a little bit the concept. And then I think it's so niche. Like if you like Psytrance morning full on, is you like techno, you like EDM, you like the Brazilian style or the Israeli style. How do you manage now that all the changes into music?
I think for us, we were always seen as a little bit of the mainstream of Psytrance, as people would call it, because we were always about dance floor. It was all about energy, about smiling, about happy music. We were never an event that was like Forest or Dark Psytrance or anything like that. And when you look at Psytrance, there's so many divisions into it. Before you even look at the division between Psytrance, techno, EDM, Psytrance in itself has got a lot of divisions. And from one side, for us, and the audience that we attract and come to us, a lot of times they come and they say, oh wow, we didn't realize this is Psytrance. Because Psytrance is such a big umbrella that when people will attend, let's say, a Forest party, which it's nice music for the people that like that, when they attend Illuminaughty, it's a completely different music. And the people that listen to Forest are probably not going to like the music that we have. But then our audience, the challenge that we were having is the audience that we were trying to attract, because Psytrance covers everything, they are not the people that would listen to the darker side. And that was a challenge that we had initially when we were trying to appeal to a more open audience, that they would associate psytrance with a little bit of a darker, noisier style, let's say. Now I think music has developed so much, and I think social media has helped to develop, and with psytrance entering more well-known events, in Tomorrowland, it's in Dream State, it's become more open. And especially the genres like you said, the Brazilian style, the Israeli style, it's a sound that's a lot more open to the audience. So I'm thinking from our side, we're finding it easier for people to come to our events nowadays. It's just that the markets, on a music front, it's open more, but the markets have become quite oversaturated. And I think what we're seeing is a younger generation, not only in psytrance, we're seeing that across all genres, not going out as much. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges that the music industry is facing, not only psytrance, techno, EDM, the big parties and the big festivals are going to get the numbers. But because of the cost of living that we're seeing now, we're seeing all the difficulties in society, people are being a lot more selective. So they're not going out to 10 events like they used to do in the past. They're going to choose what events they're going to go to. And I think that's a challenge that all event organizers are facing.
Yeah, totally. Especially in London, every day is more expensive. But I think all over the world.
It's all over the world.
It's expensive. The cost of the apartment and everything is so expensive. The cars and.
Yeah, and that's why people now, they have to think where they're going to go. Because when you go out to an event, it's not only the ticket for the event, it's the whole night that you're going to go out, the drinks, everything. It costs a lot. So people have to be selective. And I think that is the biggest challenge. In addition to what I mentioned earlier, that the younger generations, they seem to have this more health style, no alcohol, they want to interact more. And I think this is also a result of social media, because social media came out to bring people together, but actually it's taken people so distant that everyone's behind a computer that they're not with people all the time. In the past, you would be with your mates all the time for a coffee, for a drink. So then you're like, yeah, let's go to a big club and party. But now, because everyone's behind a computer, and especially in England that it's colder and people are not going out as much, then when they do go out, they feel that they need to be with someone and they need to talk, they need to interact with people rather than just be, in a club that's music and and they can't speak.
Yeah, totally. Things are changing and you're adapting. You're almost 20 years now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 20 years next year.
Yes. Yeah. Well, before I go into the 20 years, I want to develop a little bit of the story, but yeah, 20 years, it's massive. Like keep on the industry 20 years and evolving. You have so much experiences, and experience that you can share, like for being an event organizer, something to consider, because this podcast is for people on the scenes, but and I want to have like an overview of how the events in London, because I have only interviewed people from Mexico or Brazil. Also, your point of view for the events in London, or tips and recommendations, I think will be very, very knowledgeable.
Yeah, London's always got a strong scene because London's such a multicultural city. You will find a lot of psytrance events in London, and again, because psytrance is such a varied music scene, there's a lot of different categories in psytrance. There's a lot of events. You don't see as many throughout the UK, there are, but not as many. But I think London, because it is a multicultural city, you're finding a lot. And I don't think we've got a lack of psytrance music in London.
Well, that's good. Yeah, also being a big city and so multicultural, you have a lot of different countries. Yeah, I was walking down the street and I see a lot of languages. So I think they're very good. And how do you work with artists? How do you select like your next artist? Because you only make like 3 parties a year.
Yeah.
How do you? And it's a club party. You cannot have a roster like a 3-day festival. It's only like 1 day or less than a day. How do you?
For us, it's always been what works on the dance floor. We want a dance floor that's in the air. It's happy, it's smiling, it's sexy. That's the music. So when we're listening to artists, it's like we're looking at what music do they play. Will it work on our dance floor? Because we're trying to achieve a certain vibe on our dance floor. Even from the name, Illuminaughty, it's all about glowing, mischievous people, and that's what we want to achieve. So when we're listening to the music and we're trying to choose the artist, first of all, I need to feel that if I was on the dance floor, I'd be smiling and be in the air. That's my first point of choosing an artist.
Oh, that's very difficult because you have so many options and very limited slots
Yeah,
of
yeah.
time. And yeah, well, I think that's amazing that you have already like you already know your concept and you already know your proposition, and you only keep on the same and some experience that you can share. Maybe not so good experience doing events.
Obviously, when you're an event organizer, you have those events that don't work. We've all had them, and those they're kind of, a changing point, let's say. And we had a couple of bad events that we lost quite a lot of money, and it's kind of that was then the challenge that all of a sudden it's like, oof, what happens here? Those are memories that I have that changed our perspective to things quite a bit. But one of them, in essence, did give us a direction. One event that didn't go very well. It was actually a turning point for us because Visual Architects was the side company that I was telling you that was doing decor, and that was a point when we kind of realized that okay, we need to push a little bit the other company as well to be able to support Illuminaughty, because Illuminaughty, it was never about the money. It's like my mother always used to call it an expensive hobby. So after having a couple of bad events, I realized that okay, this is not a business model. This is a passion project. So the bad experience, we managed to turn it into a positive, and that's how we actually pushed and grew another company, Visual Architects, out of it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think everybody starts yours as a hobby, and then when you decide like is going to be my way of living, you need to put like the business part of
Yeah.
of this, and sometimes it's not a good thing. On the numbers, sometimes it's not very good.
Yeah, because you start to cut a lot of things, and that was the good thing about us having Visual Architects, that it meant that Illuminaughty never had to become a business model. It could always be the passion to go all out on production, go all out on performers, because it became, a piece of Visual Architects' work.
Yeah, totally. And for example, how long does it take the planning and to create all the decor? Because I just walked through and there is this installing, but I imagine when we finish this, it will almost be done. How much time it take to do the planning and the manufacturing of all the decor?
It really depends, it depends on how it fits in the pipeline, because we have a factory now. So I'd say we're probably in design, well, we think of a theme, the theme, it's not that we're going to say, oh, we're going to spend 8 hours and think of a theme. The themes come. It can come to you in the shower. It can come to you wherever. So when the idea comes, then we need to develop that. Then there's going to be a brainstorming meeting. Then we're going to develop some concepts. We're going to develop some theme ideas of what the event needs to look like. And I'd say that could take a month or 2 months, but it's not that you're solid onto it. And once you've got that, then it'll go to our design team, who they will build it all, and that will take probably a couple of weeks to design everything, bring everything to life in 3D. And once we've got that, then that will go to our manufacturing team, and then they will produce everything. And that will be dependent on what environment we have decided to create. And in the environment that we are creating, is it all brand new decor, or is it elements that we already have? Because sometimes we can mix some elements. Like for this event, the characters that we've made, they're brand new. But the canopy that we used was from something different that had not been used at Illuminaughty. But we thought, okay, we can tie it into this. So the big stage pieces will probably going to take about a month to build.
Well, but it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
If you put like all the brainstorming and the design and then the manufacturing, we're talking about 4-5 months more or less.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah. That's why we kind of do 2-3 events a year.
Yeah, because it's very difficult to, and the factory it's based in
Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's far from here.
Yeah, so then we have to ship everything down. Yeah, but the thing is, because with what we do as visual architects, we work, we're in Spain all the time, we're in Croatia, so we're used to working. So London is just down the road from us.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And I'm very impressed how you like started like making documentaries, then make events, and then you create this new company. That's okay. This is my And I think every festival, every party needs like all the deco because
it does because people, and now, like when we started, only Psytrance events did it. You would only see it in a Psytrance event that there was a different environment. But now it's become the norm, and in a bad way as well, Instagram has played a factor that you're seeing this set design across every event now, because people go and they want to take some nice pictures. It's not the only thing, but it has played a role in it. But generally, people coming back to as well that the market's oversaturated and people cannot spend to go to 10 events. What they go to, they need to feel it's special. They need to feel that they're escaping their day-to-day world, their day-to-day activities, and they are actually immersed in a different environment, in a different world. And I think that's why set design and decor have become so important in all events at the moment.
Yeah, so I saw the photo opportunity you put over there with the logo and everything. That's amazing. The throne.
Yeah.
When this podcast is out, there's already a lot of pictures, but yeah, I watched and it was wow, amazing. Good. And yeah, I completely agree. Like when people go to another festivals, they go because of the stage or because of the deco or because of photo opportunities. And when you go into the city, everybody's looking for the photo opportunities in the London Eye or in...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good that the Illuminati is thinking that, and that people go and take a picture, and a lot of their mates is going to see, oh wow, I want to be there, and
yeah,
it's amazing. And while you're planning something very special for next year for your 20th anniversary.
Definitely, yes, we are. The wheels are in motion. I can't release what it is now. I can't say what it is, but it's going to be a very, very big event. Probably the biggest we've done in 20 years, because it has to be. It's 20 years, so it has to be a massive event. It's not going to be in this venue. It's going to be in a much bigger venue. But yeah, we can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm so excited that it's only 20 years.
Yeah.
Since
it's a landmark moment. It makes me feel very old now.
No, but how many producers, even DJs, or they don't last that time, because it's very difficult. It's not sweet every day, because as you tell me, there were not good events that maybe you thought of quitting because maybe I cannot do it anymore because it's very expensive this expensive hobby.
Yeah.
And then you realize how to continue with this new company to create all the deco, and it can support the art, and then you make a business out of it. So yeah, it's very admirable. And for example, do you have like you're doing something before the 20 years, but what are your plans in the future? You want maybe try open air or continue on the club?
Yeah, I'll be honest, always the dream was to do a festival. But you get sucked in life and busy, and it takes that away. And nowadays, doing a festival is a risk, let's say, especially starting off when the market's so busy and when there's so many big festivals. It's not easy. And to be completely honest, I would never do a festival in the UK, because of the weather. Simply, the weather is just not. If you get a rainy weekend, it just spoils the experience. And for me, Illuminaughty was always an event. If we do a festival, it needs to be on a beach. It needs to be somewhere that there's the sea. And as much as I'd love to do it, it's one of those things that when you've got so much going on, it's difficult to find the time, to find the location, find the potential partners that you're going to work with to do it. But it's not that it's off the cards. It's something that we definitely want to do when the time is right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, here the weather, it's a very nice city, but it's raining and hot. The people was telling me that the summer was too hot.
Funnily enough, this summer it was, yeah. It was a busy summer for us, but it was the weather was nice.
Yeah. I remember London is always like foggy and raining and...
Wait till you come to Manchester. This is summertime here. If you go to Manchester, there's a cloud. When you get on the motorway and you pass Birmingham, it's like you're entering Mordor.
I've never been there, right? I go soon.
You literally hit Birmingham and all of a sudden, what's happening? Where do all these clouds come from,
Yeah, it's a different weather. Where I come from, Mexico is very hot and sunny. It's a different experience.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, but I'm so amazed. And what tips and recommendations? You've been so much in the scene. What tips and recommendations do you give to an artist to want to work with you? What do you see besides the music on the dance floor?
I'll be honest, for me, it needs to be the music and what the artist is giving us on the dance floor. I think nowadays a lot becomes on social media, and people judge a lot from how does the social media perform. But I think the artists just need to stray through to what their main goal is to move the dance floor. So I think an artist should always just be thinking, how am I going to make this crowd move? And don't get me wrong, different artists do different styles. You might take them on a trip, you might have them high energy, you might want them to get lost in their head. And I think what an artist needs to identify exactly what they want the dance floor and the audience to feel, and they need to go for that and stick to it and not try and do anything because this might not work on social media or this might work for whatever scene I want to enter. I think once you find your true self and what you truly believe, then you can deliver that much better for the audience that is attending the event. And that is what's going to make an artist bigger, because the audience will resonate with the trueness in that artist.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because I know that maybe that a lot of people that walk into the social media of Illuminati want to work with you and play with you because the parties are amazing. I have some time yesterday watching the videos and was like, wow, lots of energy, crowded, killer, everything. So
Nice, thank you.
No, it is what it is. And today I'm very happy that I'm going to experience this Halloween experience. And yeah, I'm looking forward for the 20th anniversary now that I meet you and being here. Like, I'm looking
You should definitely come. We should do another 20th anniversary. It's going to be November next year. We're going to do it.
That's going to be the best. Like,
Yeah.
How was the planning of this event? Maybe a little bit days after, because I would like to get your thoughts and experiences of how was it. Yeah, because
to be honest, the thing is, a lot of times on the lead up, you're feeling the pressure, you're feeling everything, and you're like, it's exhausting. And then as soon as you come out, when you stand, especially in a venue that you're on a balcony and you see the audience, that feeling after, there's no second feeling to it, because you feel like, wow, we've delivered something great. That was the cause, to bring people here, to make people feel happy and to see that great vibe. And when you see what you've delivered, there's no better pleasure than that. You know, it's like when you got a baby, because for me, Illuminaughty is my baby. You know, it started like that. And it's when a parent has a baby and you just see it flourishing, and it's a great event that people come back with great feedback. There's no money that can buy that feeling.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we can talk next year when is the best moment, because I know it's a lot of pressure, and I know that time it's like very limited before the party, because everything needs to work, and I know that it's a lot of work during the event, and then after the event it's like, okay, it went well, okay, let's rest. And after a big event, what do you rest?
We are in a company that we're deadline, pretty much 10 months a year. We've got January, February, that's not deadline, but it's other work, because we've got constantly events. Like next week, you know, although Illuminaughty is 3 times a year, Visual Architects is every weekend. And like next week, we've got shows in Barcelona, we've got 2 big shows. We've got shows all over the UK. Then, you know, we do like Google's parties, Jet2's, you know, so we've always got events going on from the decor side. So as much as I'd like to say I'd get some rest, yeah, it's not something that happens very often. Although after this event, I am actually flying straight out of the party to Turkey, and then going to Manchester, because it's cheaper to get a flight to go to Turkey and fly to Manchester from London than get on the train to Manchester.
Really?
So I thought I may as well go to Turkey, have a couple of days there, go and have a swim, because this summer I have not been anywhere. This year I haven't had a holiday. So I thought I'm going to use that opportunity, fly to Turkey, get some sun, you know, have a filling. I need a filling in my teeth. It's a lot cheaper than England. So why not?
It's amazing how it's more expensive from London to Manchester.
Yeah. Another time I had a meeting in London, and again, my meeting was Monday morning, and I took a flight from Manchester to Turkey and then to London. Obviously, you know, the hotel and is going to cost more, but at the same time, you're getting a weekend away, working there by the sea instead of being in Manchester. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. But they was telling me that there is very expensive the trains, that it is cheaper to fly.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like, in my mind, it's like, no, why?
Yeah.
It should be like,
exactly, but it isn't. Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, so amazed for this 20 years, and you're always working, and how you develop a business out of all the events and the party. You have a lot of experiences with a lot of artists. But yeah, only light and success, and really I'm looking forward to be here like next year. Just before we finish, why you put Illuminati?
So Illuminaughty is because at the time, when I was on the dance floor at festivals and you saw psytrance, I was doing documentaries and I was doing film, and it was kind of always that political approach to things. And, you know, the establishment would always see people that were anti-establishment as naughty, you know, they were seen as mischievous against the system. You know, but those people, that had more of an open view on society and what needs to happen were also the people that were glowing. They had a big smile. So in essence, they were Illumi and Naughty. But I'm not going to lie, I did take the name from the tune of Infected Mushroom, because they had that tune Illuminaughty. But in my mind, when I saw that, I thought that's exactly what it is. It's glowing, people that are seen as naughty from the establishment. So it's Illuminaughty.
Oh, nice story.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask to Ewas and Dubdev about
Yeah.
I'm going to see them next year. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask, what do you think about? Have you worked with Infected?
Yeah. They've played a lot of times. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. It's going to be a good question, man. I want to thank you for your time. I know that it's limited because you have an event right now. What is your social media? Where can people look for Illuminaughty?
So Illuminaughty is Illuminaughty_events, and that's our Instagram feed.
Okay, I will place it. Well, thank you so much for this.
Thank you very much.
I hope I see you next year.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you guys for watching.
Let me close the episode in Spanish. A todos los que vieron o escucharon este podcast, por favor denle like y compartan. Sigan a Illuminaughty Events en todas sus redes sociales y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. Hasta luego.